Hello everyone. Welcome to our Squimorphic stream where we try to recreate vibes of real-life meetup. We are not starting just yet. We will begin the actual content, streaming the actual content at around 6. We will start with game competition, racing game inside Minecraft. And now you have half an hour to prepare. And if you want to participate, make sure to check out the instructions in the description. Hello everyone. In the description and add yourself to the whitelist so we can let you participate in this racing game. So for now, I'm signing off and see you again at 6. Okay, here we go. It's 10 minutes before we begin. There is Matthias asking to add him. Let me try to do this. If you cannot connect to multiplayer, wait a second, it's wrong screen. Multiplayer, direct connect, minecraft.fikajs.com, join server, then ask in the comments and how to do it. What? Okay, wait a second. Whitelist add Ludwig rules. Okay, you should be whitelisted, and you're already whitelisted. So in around 8 minutes, we're going to begin our first competition. So far, how many people do we have here? We have a bunch. If you want to participate in this racing game, make sure to whitelist yourself by following the instructions in the stream description. You will have to add your Minecraft nickname and your email to a Google form, and we'll whitelist you on this server. Today we have two speakers. Each of them will get, let me show you what will they get. Each of our speakers will get a book from New Line. They have books on a variety of topics from front-end and Node.js to full-stack Rust and security from zero. If you want to get one of those books for free, you can win them today by participating in Minecraft Racing minigame. To be able to participate in this minigame, you will have to join the Minecraft server. And to do this, you need to whitelist yourself by following the link in the description of this stream and by adding your Minecraft handle and your email to this form. We're going to begin quite soon. We will start with a little warm-up. We will have a test run on this racing game. to just make sure that everyone knows how do controls work and how to play it. Until then, we have 5 more minutes. Okay, so we have 1 minute left, and I'm going to join the server now. If you have just joined, you can repeat after me. Make sure that you've added yourself to the whitelist by following the instructions in the description of the stream. Then you click, when you fill in the form, you click multiplayer, you click direct connect, and you enter minecraft.fikajs.com, and then join server, and you should be able to join. Okay, so there is some race already happening. Let's try to find the participants. How do I descend? I know how to fly higher, I just press jump, but how do I fly lower? Hello. Okay, we have someone running there. No idea who is that. Oh, shift. Cool. I know now. So I hope everyone who wanted already joined the game, and soon we're going to start the new one. Okay, actually, we're starting one now. 3, 2, 1. I think this one is a test race. So this one doesn't count, don't worry. Of course. And I need to press Control to run faster. Jesus. I suck at this game. Why am I so slow? I'm the last. I probably shouldn't participate because it's just... First of all, it's unfair. It's very unlikely that I will win, but still. Yes, I'm one of the organizers. I probably shouldn't run here. But anyway. How did I stack? Of course. So one of the secrets of this racing game is that you need to press the left control, which I wasn't doing throughout the first few laps. This is why it was looking so pathetic. If you want to look better playing this game, don't forget to press left control button. Who's there? There is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many people are there? So the biggest question now is, when do we start the real race? We have 25 minutes before our first talk, and we need to have at least one real race. If we have everyone who wanted to connect, then we can do it soon. Where can I find the server address? The server address that you should use is Minecraft FikaJS.com. Here it is. So if you want to connect to the server, follow the link to the form that is in the description. There is a running text in the bottom. Add yourself to the whitelist by filling in the form, and then join minecraftfikajs.com. Okay, we have 5 minutes before our real race. Make sure to join the server if you want to participate. You know what? I will actually wear headphones from now on. Hey, Paulo. I'm
Hello,
going to
can
add
you hear me?
headphones to my computer. I can't hear you yet, but I think everyone on the stream hears you. How do I do that?
I guess I can't win the book as well, right? Or can I win the book?
Paulo, say something.
Can I win the book as well, or no?
Paulo, you already will have one book. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
You, of course, you will win the book because you're a speaker. Hello, Paulo.
Hello.
Cool, you're here. Great. Because
I'm here.
I think I was talking with you on YouTube video.
Oh no! Okay. Oh, I'm dead.
Okay, I'm gonna join to the server again. Okay, everyone who is watching this video, if you want to participate, make sure to follow the link in the description, fill in the form, and add yourself to whitelist. Do it now because in 5 minutes, yeah, I think even less. In 5 minutes, we're gonna begin our actual, real race for the book. I don't know, Paulo, do you think it's fair if you will get 2 books?
Sorry, I'm burning to death.
Okay, I'm spectating now.
No, it's fine. I have a book already.
Okay, let's see if the chat wisdom will work and if shift will actually bring me down. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Cool. Okay, we have real racing helicopter camera.
Okay, wow, I'm really far behind right now. And I'm burned to death again.
Will we have a winner name on screen after the end of the race? So we see who won.
I hope
that's
so.
Important. I also hope so. Hello.
Oh no, I'm getting lapped. That's not good.
This is quite a cool map. It's like roller coaster or something.
Yeah.
Oh, where is everyone? Okay, they're here. For those who just joined, you still have a chance to join the race next time we start it, because right now it's a warm-up, and win a book from New Line. New Line is a small publisher who makes books with amazing covers. Okay, why am I flying? I was going to show how everyone is.
Probably try to put the easier track.
I think we should start with a basic track. You know what I'm liking? I'm really liking feedback, because when it's real meetup, you clearly see what people are like thinking or doing or whatever.
Exactly.
And here it's like Yeah, we have a chat.
Yep.
Hello, guys.
Yep.
Very nice to see you there. But I would like audio feedback. I would like immediate feedback of what people do they enjoy. At least, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Is there anyone participating?
Better luck next time.
Okay, so are we starting for real now?
Yeah, we can do that, I guess.
Okay, we have like 18 minutes. We probably can run at least once. Okay, look, guys, we have everyone here. I hope everyone is also listening to the stream. So now, if you press 5 to select the voting cube and you make it green, like I'm gonna make it red to make it not ready, to not let anyone start a new game. So,
but I think if you had 3 people, it starts.
Oh my God! everyone,
yeah.
make your voting cube red for now. Let's make sure that everyone.
Next race starts in 9 seconds. I'm sorry.
Okay, there is actually
everyone needs to unready.
Wait a second, Paulo. There is actually a good idea in the chat. Can set up a Discord server. How long will it take? We can. You know what? We probably won't do it this iteration, but we will have time when Ohans will speak. We'll give his talk.
Okay.
So I think we can try doing it. So first race will be like this. Okay. Everyone.
Everyone get ready. Everyone get ready.
This race is for real. We're fighting for the book. You will choose one from. Let me show what are we choosing from. Wait a second. No, don't start the race for now. I'm stopping sharing this screen. I'm sharing it.
Don't be ready yet. Don't be ready.
Yes, don't be ready yet. So here's what we are fighting for here. You can win one of those books. You pick which one. Maybe you want to learn Vue. Maybe you want to learn React Native, React, D3, or maybe Rust. You need to win the race or be a speaker. And and to do this, whitelist yourself on the server by filling in the form. You will have 3 chances today. First one is going to be in a few seconds. Second one between the talks, and last one like on an after party that we're going to have after all the talks. Cool. Stop sharing screen, and now I'm sharing Minecraft. Share. Okay. After you get whitelisted.
Should we get ready up, or are we waiting for someone?
We're waiting for me. Yeah, okay.
Ready up?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
What? Okay.
Okay, well, what did we vote for?
I have no idea. I just voted yes for something. Someone will win. Best of luck to you guys. The secret of the game is to find left control button. Oh, so many people. What are we going? Okay. And to press it from the start. And I'm the slowest again. Okay, this is the control button. Oh my God, I'm poisoned.
Oh, no.
You know what else is missing? I would like to hear the music instead of my voice.
Oh, no.
How do I jump? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm stuck. Okay. Okay, I've died. Congratulations, me. Yes. What's next? Okay, probably this. This is very hardcore race.
It is very hard.
Jesus, we should have picked something easier. Oh my God, who voted for this? Am I even running to the right direction? And I'm 7th. Okay. How did we even vote for this? I don't like it.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, at least I'm not stealing anyone's books. So it's probably good.
I'm currently 3rd. I think the 1st is pretty far ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god. How do I get there? Jesus, help me.
Oh, that was... Oh no! Oh no!
How do I end this misery and start spectating? I want to find the winner. I want to see how this person is running faster than wind.
I'm actually not sure.
Okay. So we have a winner actually. Is it Najnunu? Congratulations, Najnunu or Majnunu. The font is the font is not intelligible at all. Okay, how do I sprint?
So when is the first talk starting?
The first talk starting in 12 minutes. Let me finish the race. Did you finish the race?
Yeah, the race is finished. Yes, it's
not for me. I'm still running. Okay, I'm
seventh. Okay.
Okay. Majnunu won. I'm gonna write it in the chat.
It's complimenting your pronunciation.
Thank you. Do you think it's not Majnunu? So now we have this comment for record that Majnunu. I'm gonna write that Majnunu won. Congratulations. Please pick your book from newline.co and let us know. You can contact us in Meetup group or here in the comments. Just let us know which book do you want. I hope your nick is matching the one on YouTube.
Okay, let's pick Novice. Road Holler Park, I guess.
Are we gonna run again?
I don't know.
I don't know either. The only thing I know is that Majnunu won. Okay, let's run once again. To be clear, this time no one wins. No one wins the book. Or I don't know. You know what? Let's do another race where someone wins a book. You know what's bothering? It's like disturbing. I would say that Majnunu is not responding. I don't see any comments on YouTube from Majnunu.
But he was commenting on the Minecraft server. So.
Okay, so does Majnunu know that?
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
I'm 9th. Which book does he want? God. Is it he or she?
I don't know.
Who is Majnunu?
Oh my God.
Okay, who wins this time? You know what sucks is that I'm setting up the rules on the go. Like, okay, this time someone wins the book. This time no one wins the book. Oh no, I've changed my mind.
That's fine.
I've changed my mind. Actually, now someone also wins the book.
Okay. As long as we're giving stuff away, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I really hope you're having fun. Okay, second lap. I'm 5th. I'm not the last.
Oh my God.
I'm not the last. I'm actually. I've overcome you, Paulo. I'm 4th. You're 5th.
I pass you again.
No. That's unfair. Actually, you know what? Ohans, if you want to join the stream now before you talk and have a little race, just ping me. How will he ping me? Okay, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm trying to do too many things at once.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I will be the last. Yeah, I'm the last. Paulo, did you find out like when should you stop pressing control? Like, is it worth it? Just press it continuously.
I think I'm just pressing continuously.
Is there some strategy to it? Like you should stop it
I don't know.
to jump or something? I don't know.
Probably asking Anna. She would know better.
Would be so nice if Anna would join us on this stream. Would be so cool. Anna, if you hear us, please join. You have a link in the secret chat of the organizers. The organizers' secret chat. Okay, someone is running in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Majno won again.
Majnunu, you cannot win two books.
Anna, join the stream.
Some respect.
Click on the link, Anna. Join the stream.
How do we deal with it? Should we? You know what? We can actually
give to the second place, maybe. Can we see the second place?
Yes, or we can ban Majnunu.
Ban Majnunu, holy.
Yeah, ban Majnunu.
No,
so let's vote. Let's vote. YouTube listeners, visitors, watchers.
No banning.
No, let's ban. Why not? Majnunu already won once.
Majnunu said the second place can take the win.
Who was the second place? I was so deep into this conversation. Who was the second?
The price is banning. Oh my god.
Who?
Oh my god.
Banning. Ban them all.
Okay, there's an error.
Who won? Yes. Who won the second race?
Who was the second place? I don't know. I have no idea.
That's so miserable.
Mini games in Minecraft is new to me. Second place was Moiki.
Moiki.
Yeah,
how is
Moiki.
it? Moiki.
Yeah,
okay, now we ban two people. Majnunu and Moiki.
No. Oh my god.
Dude, it's too hard to track them. It's too hard. I'm really banning everyone.
Okay.
So Majnunu
and Moiki.
Wait, did you start another race?
It just started because I think people are ready. Where's the exit? Where? What? Oh my god.
Okay, there is some limit on the books I can give out, but I'm not sure how many. I'm trying not to be too greedy. Okay, you know what?
Oh
if
my god.
someone wins now.
Where do I go?
What was it? Slenderman somewhere. Okay, let's fly around them. Majnunu will probably win again. Okay, let's see. Who is it? Okay, how do I? Jesus.
Oh no.
Okay, I see them. Is it? Who is it? It's Moiki and Ludwig Luz. Okay, shit. Let's track them. Oh my god. Okay, where are they?
I just killed myself. Fantastic.
Martonicus will win this time, or did he already win? How do we know?
We're the third lap now. I think I am at least.
Go Ludwig Luz. Okay, go someone. Okay,
Oh no.
Am I even flying in the right direction? What is happening? Okay, probably yes. Where did they fly? Oh, someone has a Litra. What? Where does it go?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yep, people already finished.
Marlonicus won. So we have Majnunu, Moiki, and Marlonicus. Everyone starts with M, just like Maxim. Marlonicus. Cool. We have 3 winners, so we'll give away at least 3 books. I've lost interest to this race after Marlonicus won.
I mean, we could try to do a battle maybe like next, because there's also a battle mode. on this
What?
map.
Battle mode?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it not a battle?
I guess then it's like Mario Kart battle mode, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect in a few minutes because Ohans is gonna start talking quite soon, in 3 minutes. So we have 3 winners. We will have 2 more racing game blocks during this meetup. I'm gonna disconnect from the server.
Yeah, I'm heading out as well.
Yeah, let's prepare for the first talk. Ohans Emmanuel will talk about complex React patterns explained in simple way.
Okay, Maxine, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.
All good.
Okay, Ohans, are you ready?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
So, are you already? Yeah, you're already streaming your screen. So, this is Ohans Emmanuel. He lives in Berlin, Germany, right? But I think he will tell about himself better than I will do it. Okay. Signing off. Good luck.
Okay, let's go. Hi, everybody. So in the next 25 minutes, I'm going to be talking about advanced React patterns, and I'll try and do that in very plain, approachable language. Okay. So this is me, and currently I work as a senior front-end engineer at Omio, where we try to make travel really easy across Europe and all over the world, to be precise. And I happen to write a lot these days, and I have been for a while, and I'm a published author as well. And during these times, I just dance and listen to music while I'm quarantined alone in my house. Okay, so let's get right into it. So here's how this talk is structured. First, I'm going to introduce all the patterns. Well, don't let the advance in the topic throw you off. Some of the patterns are really, really simple, but these are patterns that you can apply to whatever component you're building, and they're going to make sure that you have a much more reusable component and something that it's a delight to work with. Right. So after I introduce each pattern, I'm going to show you a basic example. And after the example, we're then going to explore open source community examples, just so you can have a view of what other people are doing. And afterwards, if you've got questions, you could write them in the chat, and I'm going to answer all of them after all the talk. Great. So now let's see the first pattern that we're going to discuss. And this is like the foundation of everything. And this is custom hooks. I'm pretty sure that you have heard about or used custom hooks before. So I'm going to run through this really fast. But this is the foundation of everything. And now custom hooks really just help you reuse stateful logic within your components. And a basic example is this. Typically, it's just a function that you could call anything, but it's got to start with the use. And then within that, you can go ahead and isolate all state and effects within that function. And then you can go ahead and call this wherever you want, with the assumption that you are doing that in a React functional component or another custom hook. Pretty simple. So now let's see what people are doing, what the open source community are doing. So the first example is React use. Now, the use of custom hooks here is pretty much how you would expect. Okay, so they have a small set of functions to do one thing, and then they export a lot of these functions. So you as a user can import all of them, one or more of them, and use them within your app to do whatever. So here's an example. We've got something called useEffect once, and that is just a modified useEffect hook that runs just once. And you have stuff like useEvent, and that helps you subscribe to events. And you've got usePromise, which just helps you resolve promises while the component is mounted. Now, the takeaway here is you can go ahead and do the same with whatever component library you're working with. It could be at work, it could be wherever. You could just go ahead and isolate really, really small functions, and so that you can move that all around and reuse them as much as you want. Now let's take a look at a more interesting use case. And this is React Table. It has to be one of the most popular libraries for creating tables with React. It's got over 10K stars. But it takes a very interesting approach to custom hooks. Now, historically, if you wanted a UI component, you would expect that the library exports certain UI components, some elements that you can compose together and make your UI. But React Table takes a very different approach. As opposed to exporting UIs, it does export just custom hooks that return certain values, and then you go ahead and build your own UI based off of that. Now, this has some disadvantages, but a very interesting take. And I'm going to go back to this later just to show you what they're doing and how this is possible. Now, with custom hooks, this has a couple of pros. Pretty simple. You've got single responsibility models. These are very testable functions, and then you can move them around and reuse them all across the place, anywhere you want. And in the case of React Table, what I like about it is this reduces complexity. For example, earlier versions of React Table did have UI components, and these components had like over 30 props that you could pass into them to customize them. And then they took a different approach in the later versions and just killed all of that and moved to custom hooks that are way more simpler and let the user bring their own UI. And that is a disadvantage of its own, because most people expect that you give them the elements that they're going to use and all the visual part of it, and not just some functions or models. But there is a reason why that works as well, and we're going to take a look at that later on. Okay, so that's it for the first pattern. Now let's go further and see a more interesting pattern, and this is a compound components pattern. Now this is pretty simple, but very explicit in its own, because it lets you explore the relationship between UI components as parent-child explicitly, and then within that structure, within that tree, you can go ahead and share implicit state. Now, here's an example. If you were going to build a component that showed some clap, some animation with some details, a number of claps, what you would typically do is just go ahead and render one big component. And you have all the logic and you have all the UI elements and components all in that. And then you go ahead and export that to the users and they use this. While this works, what if you go ahead and did something different? As opposed to just exporting the parent, you go ahead and export all the chat components so that the users can compose the UI themselves. While this may seem like it's more work, it does have some advantages as well. Now, if you take a look at this, you see that the example here has all the chat components appended to the parent component, much more like they are added to the instance of the parent. That is not compulsory. For example, this is equally valid. You could go ahead and have the parent and just export all the chat components and just compose all of them without having to append them to the instance or attach them to the instance of the parent. Great. Now, why is this important and why is this helpful? The reason why this is really good is because you have your UI state completely managed by the parent, and you can communicate that state through the component tree via something like the context API. And this gives you lots and lots of flexibility, which we're going to take a look at. For example, here's a library, Rich UI, which has over 3K stars, pretty good. And let's consider how an accordion component from Rich UI is used. Now, as opposed to just giving a single accordion component, which will have all the logic and all the related UI components, what Rich UI does is slightly different. It gives you the parent and it gives you all the chat components as well. Okay, so you go ahead and import all of that, and then you use it like this. You go ahead and render the parent, and you render the specific chat components in whichever way you want. Now, why would you do this? Why do you have to do this much work, and why is this helpful? Here are some pros to doing this. One is you have a flexible markup structure. Now, when you do this, the chat components can be moved wherever, whichever way. You could say you don't want the header at the top and you want it down, and you could go ahead and move that any way you want. Also, the users don't have to use all your chat components. They could go ahead and write whatever element they want to write within your parent component, and it's all going to work. So this gives very, very flexible markup structure to the users of your component. And secondly, this helps you reduce complexity. Now, if you had one giant component, what typically happens is you're going to have lots of props being passed to that, And then within your internal implementation, you go ahead and forward all of that to the child components. Well, that's not bad in itself. It just makes your implementation a little more complex when you could go ahead and split it up, have things more semantic and way more simpler. Okay. And third, you have a separation of concerns that is really good for architecting good software and good components. Great. But what are the cons to this? Like I said before, you've got to do a little more work. While you get a lot out of it, I think the work that you have to do is minimal, and it makes up the advantages make up for it. So I would say that this is a great pattern to use. If you've got a large component that you can break down and have some sort of child parent relationship, then you should go for this. This is a beautiful pattern to simplify how you export your components. Great. Now let's go over to the third pattern we're going to take a look at. This is very, very simple, but it does help a great deal. Now, regardless of the component you build or the components you use, there's got to be a way to override and add new styles. Now, how do you do this? There's a variety. There's a lot of ways you could do this, but here's a core principle we're going to work with. You want to make sure that your users can style your component like they would any other element or component. For example, with a typical JXS element, you can style them with a class name or a style attribute. So if you build your component, you want to make sure that that works. You can pass a class name and it works. And you want to make sure that this works as well. You pass a style property, and a user should be able to override or add new styles. Now, what about CSS and JS solutions? So if your users want to use style components, or they want to use emotion, or they want to use glamour, what about that? Now, if you handle the previous cases where it's possible to override styles by passing a class name or a style prop, most CSS and JS solutions are going to work as well. So it doesn't matter which solution they're using, it's also going to work. So as long as you do that, you accommodate for all other options. Pretty simple and pretty powerful as well. Great. So now let's take a look at what Rich UI does, which is the library we took a look at earlier, which contains a lot of components to make UI building more accessible and easy to work with. And now here's what they do. Here's an example from Rich UI. You've got this menu list component, and as you can see, it can't be styled with a class name prop. Great. Can't be styled with a style prop. Perfect. And if you're using style components or emotion, it works perfectly. And if you're using Glamour as well, it works perfectly. Now, if you're building a component and you need styles to be shareable, extensible, or reused, or even just extended, then this is something you should work with. You should make sure that the users of your component can style your component just like they'll style every other element or component in their app. And you'll be providing a much more simpler and easy to use pattern. Great. Now let's take a look at the third, not the fourth pattern. And this is called the control props pattern. Now, when you had control props, if what came to your mind was, oh, I've seen this somewhere, that's React controlled elements or React controlled components, the US, right. Now, control props allow the users of your component to control the UI state you've got internally via some control props in code. Okay, so what are these control props? Typically, if you have a component, what we're talking about is being able to pass the state value and a state updater to that function, the component in this case. Now, this is exactly what you do with an input, a controlled input, for example. You pass the state value and you pass the state callback as well. Okay, and the callback goes ahead and updates the value at any point in time, and you have this controlled component. Now, why this is important is there are cases, even though you handle a lot of use cases internally, there are cases where your user wants to do something else, okay? And as opposed to having complicated logic and how they should do this, you could just go ahead and make sure that your component works like this. They can pass a state value, all values, and they can pass a state updater, and everything's going to work perfectly. Now let's see what other people are doing. Here is Material UI. which seems to be really used in the community. You've got about 56K stars. And let's take a look at one of the components. This is a rating component. Okay. Now, how does this work? In very simple terms, you just go ahead and import that component and then you put a name on there and a default value. And this just works perfectly. Now, when you do this, internally, the component is going to have all the states. You don't have to worry about anything. They're going to do all of it. Okay. As soon as you click, the rating is going to go. Perfect. That works. But what happens if the user wants to control that state themselves? Now, this is where control props come in. And this is what they do pretty good. Now, you have the same component, but they make it possible for you to pass a value and an unchanged callback. Now, in this case, value stands for the state value, and unchanged stands for the state updater. Okay, and when you do this, you have a completely controlled component. But how do they do this? So internally, what they do is before you go ahead and update state internally, you've got to check if that component is being controlled or not. If it's controlled, you go ahead and return the user's state, or you go ahead and do what you should do normally internally. And the same goes for the updater as well, the state updater. You want to go ahead and check if it's controlled. You go ahead and just call the user's callback. And if it's not controlled, you go ahead and do what you would have done internally. Anyway, great. Now, by doing this, while it looks really simple, you leverage an opportunity to make sure that you don't overcomplicate the what's it called now? You don't go ahead and overcomplicate the implementation that you've got internally, and just make sure that by exposing these simple props, you can have the state of your component managed externally by the users of your component. Now, what are the pros of using this pattern? Now, while it is super, super simple, it has to be the simplest way for you to implement the inversion of control. Okay, so if you don't want to control what's happening on the inside of your component and want to make sure that the users of your component are taking care of that, this is the easiest way to do that, hands down. And what are the cons of this? It is possible that while you do this, while you cede control over to the users, there are cases where the user is going to have to duplicate all that you have done internally. Because, for example, take a look. You have a callback that does something internally. Now, when the user decides to override that, they're going to have to do something as well. In most cases, they want to have an addition to what you're already doing, or they just want to have a tweak. Okay, but if you expose this pattern, all you've got to do, all the user's got to do is pass a new function. And by doing this, there's a big chance that they're going to have some duplicates in there. But as we go on, I'm going to show you another way to avoid this. Great, now that is it for that. Now we're going to go on to the next pattern, which is pretty interesting. And it's called the props getters pattern. And what this does is really simple. We want to make sure that we can provide a collection of properties to the users of our hooks or component. Now, here's what I mean. Most components are going to have the same set of props being used all over and all over by the same set of users or different users. It doesn't matter. But as long as people are using these components, you as the builder, you as the champion of the component, you know that the users of your component are going to need these props. Now, what you can do is go ahead and provide that beforehand. Now, here's an example. If you build a hook, so you use your hook, and then that hook gets invoked, what you can do is go ahead and return a function that returns a collection of props. In this case, the props collection could be just an object of key value pairs that point to specific properties that could be passed into some elements by the user. Here's an example. So in this case, the user could go ahead and just invoke the function that you return from your hook, get props collection, that gets invoked. And because it's a function, the user as well could go ahead and override whatever you've got in there. So for example, if my collection returns an on-click key that points to a value internally, the user could go ahead and override that with their own specific handlers. Now that's why using the function here makes a lot of sense. Okay, now let's see what other people are doing. The community. If you take a look at React table, we did talk about how easy this is, because now they offer just custom hooks to build out table UIs. Now, while that is tricky in itself, the reason they're able to do this is when you invoke that, the hook, for example, use table, they go ahead and provide a couple prop getters. Now, what happens is these are functions that you go ahead as a user and invoke, and that passes automatically. You get some properties that just gets passed on to that element without you having to do anything. Now, if you combine custom hooks and prop getters, you can see how React table can go ahead and not provide any UIs at all, and the user can still go ahead and compose their own tables. Now, this comes with a lot of benefits, and one of it is this flexibility. The flexibility and ease that you provide to your users makes this pattern a very beautiful one. Now we're going to go ahead to the next one. This is called the state initializers pattern. I like this because of its simplicity and how useful it could be. Now, this is simple. All this pattern does is make sure that you provide a way to make sure that the initial state of your component is configurable and could provide an optional state reset. How does that work? So here's the basic example. Let's say I've got a hook called user hook, and I make sure that my users can pass whatever initial state they want to pass, and I go ahead and return something, but what I return as well should have a reset handler to make sure that the users can go ahead and reset the state. Now, internally, as soon as the user passes the initial state, I go ahead and pass that on to my internal implementation. For example, I could call set state or use state and pass that on. Whatever the user passed in, I'll pass that on to my own internal state mechanism. Great. Now, if you took a good look, you'd realize that what we're doing here is we're taking props and passing it down to state, which is generally frowned upon for very good reasons. And that is why when you do this, or if you do this, you want to make sure that the state is not dependent on props, but what you pass in here is just an initializer that is just used once. Okay, it doesn't, you're not having derived state, which is bad, which is a bad idea. Now, let's consider Formic. Formic is a popular library for creating easy forms in React. Now, here's a very simple example. You go ahead first and you import the Formic component. Pretty simple. But that component lets you pass in some initial values. Now, the initial values you pass in here are going to be used internally as the initial state for that component. What's interesting is how this is handled internally by Formic. Now, Formic goes ahead and saves all these values into ref objects, the initial values. Now, by saving into a ref object, this pretty much acts like instance variables. By doing this, subsequent changes are ignored. So this is not derived state. You have an initial value that is passing by the user, and you go ahead and save that and reuse that all the time across the same renders. Perfect. Now, Formic as well is kind enough to go ahead and expose a reset function. And that reset function is what the user calls if you want to reset the form to initial state. And that initial state could be the initial values that you passed in the beginning. Great. This is a really, really simple pattern, but it does have some very important pros. First is that the ability to set state first, the initial state, and the ability to reset that state is pretty much a very important feature for most UI components. And so if right out of the bat you go ahead and do this, you're going to be helping your users of your component. And secondly, this is super easy to implement. So why would you not do it? And the cons is depending on the component you're building, this may be super trivial and may not probably not worth the effort for you, but regardless, this is a perfect pattern because it's such a widely requested feature. Great, now let's take a look at the last pattern. This is a little more challenging to explain, but I'm going to do my best. So here it is. First, the state reduces pattern, very much like the control process pattern, is there to make sure that you can cede control over to the users of your components. Now, this goes a step further. To prevent duplicates, you can also go ahead and export action types. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean, but here's a very basic example. So if you've got a hook called, say, your hook, now you want to make sure that the user of your component can pass a reducer to that hook, and that reducer is what's called a state reducer by itself. Okay. What am I talking about? Okay, wait, let's take a look at a very, very, very interesting example. Here's downshift, which helps you build really, really, really interesting form, not really form, but input, React inputs. It could be autocompletes or whatever, but this helps you build all of that. But here's how it works. When you import the component, you can, this is not necessary, you can pass in the state reducer. Now, and this reducer is basically just a reducer. It's going to take state, and it's going to take the proposed changes that downshift, the component, was going to make internally. It's going to pass this on to that reducer, and it is the reducer's responsibility to return new state. Now, why is this interesting? This is so interesting because every single time that the component is going to set internal state, the reducer is going to be called. Now, and if this reducer is passed in by the user, it means the user has complete control over the new state of the component. They could go ahead and update the state or not. And this is complete control you're giving to the users, and this is perfect for that. Now, here's a much more interesting use case. Now, what downshift does is export types. What this does is that for specific types, your users, the user of your component, could go ahead and say, well, I don't care about this type. I care about this type. And if this type comes in, just go ahead and ignore all the changes. But this specific type, go ahead and do this. Now, by doing this, you can eliminate the need for users to duplicate code you've got internally, because they're just going to do the default that you would have done internally by using types. And they could go ahead and indeed have maximum user control. Now, why is this important again? This gives users the ultimate inversion of control. Unlike control prompts, this takes it much more to the next level and gives the user the control to do whatever they want, because they're passing a reducer and you call that reducer every single time before an internal state update is made. But this doesn't come without its own cons. And the con of this is basically, this is perhaps the most complex of the bunch to implement because it's a little more technical. But if you get this done, you will be doing the users of your component great, good. Okay, and that is the last pattern we're going to take a look at. And that's all of it. I thank you so much for giving me the past 25 minutes and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. So the next step, I would expect that you go ahead and use these examples. If you're building a component library, if you're building something within your company, or just personally, just go ahead and try these patterns. They're amazing, and they're going to help you have very, very solid patterns, very solid components, rather. And you can let me know what you think about this, all the patterns I just talked about, and you can reach me at Ohans Emmanuel on Twitter, and I'll be super glad to hear from you. And also, do not forget to stay safe. These are trying times. And if you want to see all these patterns, what I did was write up a 20-page booklet that shows all these patterns and how you're using the real world with lessons from open source community libraries. And that's the URL where you could get it. And it shows you some really, really cool examples from libraries like relatable, rich router, downshift, forming, etc. Okay, so thank you, and thank you all for having me. Bye.
Fantastic. I hope everyone is applauding. Let's imagine. Yeah, this is the missing part of from the real meetups. That would be cool to transition to virtual ones as well, so you would get your round of applause. It was really great talk, Ohans. I really like it. I wrote down a bunch of points. Thing is that I teach React. I have React course in Russian, and a few things are new for me. Like when I think about React patterns, I mostly think about like render props, hooks, and now boom, my knowledge has expanded. That's so cool. I think either I will just ma'am, can you share the link to your slides in the comments so everyone?
Okay, I'll do that. Which of the comments? YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube here. I will add it to meetup.com later.
Okay,
Not
okay,
not
I'll
the
do
stream
that.
comments, because
Yeah.
they are time synced and they disappear, but
Right.
the video comments
Right.
down
I'll
below.
do that. I'll do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And
If there are questions as well, I'm happy to hear them. I can answer them as well.
exactly. Now we'll have a small block of questions. I'm gonna disappear for a moment. And do you have the link to the stream? Can you read the comments now?
I think I canceled it for a bit. Let me go back there.
So far, we don't have questions yet. I'm checking the the comments.
I'm there now. I don't see any questions yet. Yeah.
Let's wait a few minutes, guys. We will have let's say 3 to 5 minutes when you can ask your questions, and Ohans will answer them. I will disappear for a while, leaving Ohans alone for 3 minutes.
Okay, good. We've got to do.
I don't know. Stay there and smile for 3 minutes.
Okay, so it's just us. If you guys got questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Actually, I have questions. Thing is that, yeah, all good. The examples were quite small. Do you use, like, which of the patterns do you most frequently use in production in your real code? Not for the sake of, like, it exists.
To be honest, I use all of them. For example, the first time that I wrote a compound component, for example, the big problem I had was, so we had this giant component that was like a price breakdown component. And what this component does is, like, it takes, everything the users added to the cart and just kind of displays them. But the problem with this was it just had so many props in it, it was impossible to modify. If you had to modify this, you had to go to the parent library, update that, make a push, deploy that, then use a new version. It was kind of annoying. Why do I have to do that? Just expose the child components and I can compose them as much as I want, And so I use that in production at work. I use prop getters very often because they're very convenient. State reducers. The first time I was going to introduce state reducers into our code base, my colleague was like, "Oh, come on, this is too complex. We don't want this." And I understand. I was like, "Okay, I'm going to try and solve the problem in another way." But if I were building an open source component library, I would definitely use state reducers because it gives maximum flexibility.
I have one more question. I work in front-end team in Mojang right now, and we use TypeScript extensively. Have you tried using compound component pattern with TypeScript? Is it like, because I expect that it might be quite cumbersome to type the components that it has to accept as children?
But it works perfectly. For example, before the talk, I was taking a look at Reach UI, and it's written completely in TypeScript. And I like how all of it is done. For example, the Accordion component I was talking about is completely built in TypeScript, and it works perfectly as well. I can share, when I share the link to the talk, you could like check some of that as well. Or the booklet that I have at the end, there are links to actual implementations in these libraries. And it's kind of interesting to just see what everyone else is doing. Quite fun, I think. It works perfectly with TypeScript too.
That's awesome.
Right.
Fantastic. And I don't see any other questions. If no one is having any questions.
Yeah, I don't see any questions as well.
Yeah, so probably it's fine. I'm gonna announce that every speaker on FikaJS meetups gets some present. Usually it's a T-shirt. Like I'm actually wearing one of the vintage ones. We have changed the design lately. It's different now. But as now we have this Corona situation, we will actually grant Ohans a book that is. Let me show. What is this book? It's Full Stack Rust. Why did you pick Rust, by the way?
Because I had been waiting for the perfect opportunity to learn Rust, and try my hands on WebAssembly with Rust. And so I'm just super excited to get hold of the book, yeah.
So you actually hope to use it on front end?
Exactly, WebAssembly, that's why.
So is TypeScript not enough for you?
No, I want to have more fun.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I will grant it to you after the meetup, or maybe in personal chat, because I already
Okay.
have the link. Thank you, man. That was very good,
Thanks a lot.
solid
I
presentation.
appreciate it. Thank
It
you.
really
Thank you.
broadened my perspective on
Nice.
React patterns. That's awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. Good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, mate.
Okay, and now we'll have another round of competition for New Line CO books. Anna, I really hope you will jump on the stream with me. Can I have Anna on the stream? Thing is that I'm really grateful for Paulo for joining me on the stream, because throughout the first few minutes I realized that I'm not PewDiePie. And I can't really pull off streams all alone. Well, we actually have 15 minutes. I think we will run at least once or twice. Anna is here. Here is Anna.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start streaming the. Oh, maybe you can try streaming now, because I'm not the best player. I'm not even mediocre player. I'm actually the worst player here. Consistently finishing the last.
Well, since I'm brought in as the definite expert on this racing game, with coming last in the two races I participated in. If you want me to stream, I can do it.
Do it, Anna. Do you know how to stream your screen?
Should I share my screen then, or
Exactly.
how would that work?
Click the share screen button.
Will I share my entire screen?
No, you'll be prompted. What do you want to share? You can share a tab. You can share a window. You can share a screen.
Okay, let's go.
Pick the window option.
Are you seeing my?
Yes, I'm seeing, and now everyone else. I'm joining the game.
Okay, be ready to be blown away.
Blown away.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope everyone is ready. Let's do the following. So, what if should we run the test run again, or should we just run for real? Stop hitting me, whoever is doing it.
I think we should do a test run, right?
Yes, one test run, and then we run once or twice for real, and we try to remember the winners, and then Paulo will speak. So, let's go on.
Can you win again? If you won the last time, can you win again?
I'm making the rules here, so no, you can't.
So
I'm very strict with this. I was going to ban Majuju. Majnunu.
The reigning king or queen. How we determine the real name?
It actually has sense. I had no idea. Anyway, I'm not very educated person, so don't expect much. Wait, why? Actually, I'm a helicopter now. I'm not participating.
How can I be in second place when there's no one ahead of me?
Okay, people are running.
Am I insane? Okay. Oh no, Majnunu, no, you will not win this.
Please, Majnunu, don't win.
Okay, I can't ban Majnunu now because I'm currently running.
No, let's not ban. We are kind hosts.
Yeah.
I like this track. It's so easy to wait a second. If I press Control, will it be faster? Yes, actually, I can fly faster. So the first one. Wait, is it?
Oh,
who is it? Is it Majnun? Is he winning again?
I think so.
Or she? I don't want to assume the gender.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. Am I leading this?
This magnificent runner. No, I don't think so, Anna.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
Forest Casual, is it you?
Yes.
You're leading.
I am the king. Okay, let's see. Wow, what a time to be alive! I'm so fast.
Yeah, you know what? Hosting this game, I actually gain more and more respect to streamers.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Play the game and simultaneously talk a lot. It's so
hard.
No,
it wasn't finished? I thought it was finished. No!
Majnunu is first. We should have banned this person.
Oh no. I took out my victory too early.
Okay, Ludwig Luz. Ludwig Luz did not win before, so Ludwig Luz gets the book as well. Ludwig Luz. Congratulations to Ludwig Luz. Is it Ludwig Luz?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I'm so unsure about my
Yeah, I mean, if you look to the right here, you see how the race is going. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yes,
So then,
Basic Ludwig Luz. I don't like. I think we should just stop the race immediately after we have first winner, because I stopped caring. Like, I don't care anymore.
oh my
for
God.
this race. It is very hard to care of what is happening after we have a winner.
Oh no. Have I zoomed in? Okay. How do I exit this minimap or like minigame?
I don't know.
Oh Jesus. Okay, something happened. Are you saying you don't want to do another race? I can't win a book?
You can win a book because you're not a speaker and you genuinely play the game. You can win, you can lose. If you lose, you don't win, and then if you win, you win the book.
I would have won if I didn't get so confident and thought I won and then stopped.
Who put the Slenderman here? Okay, I'm gonna run this time. I hope.
Okay, yeah.
This is so violent here. I don't like it. I don't like this.
But I think it's pretty good. Like you can try out the different abilities. Oh wow. Okay, what happened there? I think it's actually pretty neat. Like if you pick up the chest, you can try. But I don't know how to switch abilities and run. Like you have to stop while you're running, and you don't want to do that.
You know what I don't understand? Like this map actually has voting. Fuck no, sorry, I said the F word. I don't like this map.
You will never be invited to my house again.
Okay.
After those horrible words.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm. Oh no! Oh, it was this map where I didn't understand how to jump.
I'm losing anyway, so I will whitelist Maria.
Oh no! I griefed myself.
Maria, I'm gonna whitelist you. Hang on, hold on, or like hang the hold. Whitelist. Maria, what's your name there? Maria. Write your name in the comments.
It sounds like you're expecting her to like answer on the screen.
Yes, I'm expecting, because there is YouTube comments section. It is not for nothing there. Maria, I know you hear me. Type your Minecraft handle so I can whitelist you.
Okay, let's see. Oh no.
Okay.
I have to win this.
Viliaif.
Nope. Okay.
What? Did I whitelist her?
Oh no! Oh yes, no. Oh no.
Viliaif.
Oh my god. Such
yes, you're white, Maria. You are whitelisted. Join the race.
No,
you
will
actually
not win this. Nope. Bye.
Anna is fourth. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, harsh direct feedback.
Yes, this race is weak.
But I was doing fairly well. But yet again, I got too confident. This is not something I usually struggle with.
Look at Majnunu.
Yeah, I know.
It's winning again.
Yeah, it's. I think we need the how do you say, like when you enhance yourself with like hormones? What's the English word for that?
When you use juice?
Yeah,
when you juice yourself up?
Exactly.
Testosterone?
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Your testicles?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't use that word, but yes, I'm suspecting maybe this person hasn't done that. I don't want to have a slander charge against me, but some sort of something.
I'm
some
Moki, by the way. Hello, Moki, who is at the same Anas Zaki. That's very confusing. My name everywhere is either Maxim Ivanov or Satan's Deer. So, like, yeah, actually, it would be also confusing. Whatever. Yeah. We have 5 more minutes. I don't know. Did the race end?
Yes.
Cool. Then, who won? Who is the first?
I think. Let's see. Wait. Okay, actually. Ooh. Okay, so first place is Majnunu again.
Second is Ludwig Luz, but Ludwig Luz already got the game. Third, Forest Casual. Okay, if Ludwig Luz and Majnunu don't mind, you will get the book. Not them. I don't know. And by not mind, I mean they won't just complain in the comments. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. The rules are changing every time.
Yes, they are.
What do I do?
They say they don't mind, but also like, if maybe they want 2 books, one for each hand.
No, I don't think you can get 2 books.
So you're not allowed. Oh.
Okay, Anna, you're getting the books. The
Ooh!
book. One
no,
book.
I died. I got so happy that I died. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh no! Yeah, that was embarrassing. The books that you're giving out.
Yes, the
What
books
are
that I'm
those?
giving. Okay, after this race, just before Paulo's talk, I will show my screen again and show what people can choose from, because people need to. What? Sorry.
They look like fantasy books. They look like something I would read in like when I was like 12.
Yes, they have just amazing covers. The contents are also quite good, but the covers are so great. This is what is his name? I forgot the name of the artist. I actually follow him on Instagram. It is TJ something.
Oh no! Okay. This course is not going in my.
TJ Miller.
Is TJ Miller? Really?
No. I'm making this shit up. Well, let me check.
Yeah.
TJ Fuller. He's TJ Fuller.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
It's so good. You know what? I will actually show his Instagram as well. Like just right after this race, before Paulo's talk, I will show the list of the books and TJ Fuller's. Who's TJ Miller, by the way?
It's the actor in Silicon Valley.
I know it's
one
not
of the
him.
Actors. Yeah, no, that would be crazy.
No, it's not that crazy. But TJ Fuller is very, very impressive.
Nice. What else does he do apart from writing those books?
He's writing those covers. He's an artist. And it's different authors. It's New Line CO is a publisher, and they publish books from different authors. Actually, I'm soon going to be published there as well. I'm writing a book about React plus TypeScript.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to get one of those sweet covers as well?
Yeah, I can actually show a spoiler, show the picture which my cover will probably be inspired by.
Nice. Yeah, can we end my misery here? I'm doing so poorly. I cannot talk and run at the same time.
You see, PewDiePie is actually earning his money with good, honest work. It's really hard to do this.
Yeah, if he was live streaming every day, yes, that I would be very impressed. Because live streaming is hard. No, what do you mean, oi oi oi, Paulo? I can't. I'm not. I don't have a degree in this. I don't know how to do this. This is. Oh my god. Okay. I don't have a driver's license. I also want that on the record. Okay, can I get out of this? Men lite bra. We should have seriously, we should have an interview with Majnunu, like you have with someone who's won a sport. Like an interview afterward, like in the what's it called? What's it called in sports?
Interviews, sport interview.
Yeah,
should we have sport interview with Majnun?
Yeah, I think so. What's the secret? How can you be so good?
I don't know. Okay, let's Majnun, the magnificent Majnun. Look at him or her. I'm not assuming genders, but okay. We probably want to stop sharing your screen, Anna. Because we probably want to stop playing. Next games are not for real. If you continue playing, you're not winning anything. So for now, we have, just to clarify, Majnunu, Moiki, Marlonicus, Ludwig Luz, and who was the last? Anna, you were the last one. What is your nickname? Let me write down.
Forest_casual.
So let me show now what are the people winning. Share my screen tab, and I'm showing full stack. Yes, That's full stack Rust. We go to new line. Do you see the books?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can. This is the newest book, Security from Zero. Full stack Rust, full stack Node.js, how to become web developer if you have no idea yet. I don't know what you're doing on this meetup then. Full stack React, React Native, full stack Vue. This is an amazing cover. I really like this one.
Yeah.
It's so symmetrical and there is what?
Have you played Control, the game Control?
No, I have no idea what it is.
Oh, you have to play it. They have like a glowing triangle as their symbol. It really looks like that.
Like Vue.js logo?
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that I wanted to show, how do I pick what I'm showing? Is TJ Fuller's Instagram. So here we go. This is TJ Fuller. Somehow he doesn't have as many followers as I would expect because I think this No, I don't want to log into Instagram.
Just inspect and remove.
Yeah. So this is backed Cerberus. This is the inspiration for my book cover, most likely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's so good. Like, why is it doing this? Jesus.
Conversion.
Okay. Yeah, conversions. I'm not gonna log into Instagram. They can give up. Whatever. Anyway, do we have Paulo? Paulo, you need to join. It's time for you to join. And while Paulo is joining, I'm gonna add Amsterdam 1042. Whitelist. Add Amsterdam 1024. Okay, Amsterdam 1024. You are whitelisted, but we're not playing games anymore. We are waiting for Paulo. Paulo is here. Bye, Anna.
No, wait. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe actually. Yeah. I just want to address the impressive feat by Majnunu. I'm sorry that it got a little bit heated. I said some things I didn't mean, but that's because I'm very competitive.
Okay. Bye, Anna. Thank you. Bye. Okay, Paulo, welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well. I'm sharing your screen and I'm signing off.
Oh my God.
The audience is yours. Go on.
Don't leave me alone.
Impress the world.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining, listening in. Hope you're all being safe, staying at home if you can during this time. And I hope you find this talk entertaining, maybe useful. We'll see. Yeah, so here to talk about custom React renderers. Yeah, my name is Paulo Ragonha. I'm a Brazilian. I've been here in Sweden for 4.5 years. I got adapted to the winter. I love biking and I commute even on winter and snowstorms. And as you know, I work at Mojang in a project called Minecraft that we just played. I don't work on the Java version. I work in the Bedrock version with a team that's called Core UI. We are composed of JavaScript developers, C++ developers, and designers. Here's part of our team playing in the Mojang private server we call Spawn Point. And if you saw my previous talk of your come here to the FikaJS, you might be wondering, and yes, we are using web technologies to build the game UIs, but we're not actually using a browser. We're using a technology called GameFace, which is built by this company called Coherent Labs, and it's actually a custom browser engine, which is a layout engine. So they took a subset of HTML and CSS and built a tiny browser that is meant to be performant, to be embedded in games. And we basically use this to build the UI games for Minecraft. And to build our pieces of UI, we're, of course, using React. If you want to know more about our process to get to this technology, our stack, and other challenges involved in using React and web to build the game UIs, I gave a talk last year at FikaJS. Thanks, Maxine. And you can follow this link. I'll share all this later to know more about it, or just search on Google for FikaJS, you'll find it. Okay, but I guess most of you might have heard of React or use React or use it on your day-to-day development. And I guess the question that might come is like, what is exactly a renderer? And if we look at this tiny kind of like hello world snippet from a React application, there is already a hint. We can see that there's this render function that is coming from React DOM package. So React DOM is one of renderers that are available from the maintainers of the React library. And it's the one that we use to build applications for the web. But as we know, there's also another one that's very popular, which is React Native, that allows us to basically build our same React code, but then target it to run on iOS and Android. And this is kind of like what it looks like. On the left, we have a code of React application that's built for the web, and on the right, one that's built for the React Native. And the main difference between the two of them is that on the left for the web, we use divs and paragraphs. Those are the host components for web. And on native, we have views and text, which is the host components for the native platform. And host is in this case is like the browser or iOS or Android. And when we break this apart, we have, of course, the React package for both of them. And then we have distinct implementations for React DOM and React Native on each one of these platforms. The React package is the thing that we interact directly most of the time. This is where we have most of the public-facing APIs, like the use state, use effect, and so on. And React DOM or React Native, that's where actually the bunch of the heavy work is actually going on. It's in this package that actually the diff is calculated, and it's also here that we actually get to apply the changes, in this case to the DOM, to the browser. But this actually is not a monolith package. Actually, if we look under the hood, we can see that it's actually composed of other two major smaller pieces. And the reconciler is actually the piece that's doing the heavy work, while the specific host implementation is actually part of a DOM host config that's specific to React DOM. And when we compare this with React Native, we can see that the reconciler is the same for both of them. It's just that the host config will be implemented specifically for each platform. And lucky for us, the React reconciler is a package that is published by its own from the React core developers. And it's a package that you can use to build renderers. However, it should be noted that the API for this package is not stable. So it will probably change with newer versions of React. But you can use today to already create renderers on your own. And the community actually created a bunch of stuff. We have, for example, React Blast, which is a renderer that allows us to actually write React applications and run them on the terminal. We have React 3 Fiber, which allows us to create React components that actually become 3D objects in a 3D scene using 3JS, and many, many more. So if you look at NPM and take a look at React Reconciler, you can see there's like 214 dependents packaged on it. And of course, not all of these 214 are renderers that actually make sense for you to use in your project, but just shows basically the breadth of possibility that this allows. But given this talk, given our context, why do I even need a custom React renderer? And if we remember from the previous slide, I mentioned that React DOM is a renderer that supports all the major browsers today. And from their documentation, you can see that it supports from Internet Explorer 9 and above. But what if we want to support Internet Explorer 4? I mean, that would be just another host environment, right? In the same way that we have iOS and Android, why would it stop me from implementing a renderer that targets Internet Explorer? I'm pretty sure there's a lot more problems that I would face instead of just building a custom renderer, but that's a fun experiment. So what we're actually going to try to do is a little bit more humble. So we're actually going to build a custom renderer that only renders the marquee tag. That's important, only the marquee tag. And if people don't know what the marquee tag or haven't used it for a while and is not as old as I am, this is a tag that is currently deprecated. It actually works in all the browsers, but you're not supposed to use it. And it's supposed to be faded out. And what it allows you to do is basically to create the classic DVD screensaver that I have here with the FikaJS logo. And what we want to do then is construct this very simple React application that renders a marquee inside a marquee. And here I'm actually using React DOM, just the normal stuff. But what I actually want to do is, instead of using React DOM, is have our custom implementation of a render and use that instead, which we're going to call React Marquee Renderer. So here's the part that actually I'm going to go and try some live coding. This is the first time I'm doing streaming. It's the first time I'm doing live coding in a talk. So hopefully that will go well. So yeah, let's start it. So, oh yeah, there's one more slide. So the only thing I've done before going to live code is basically created a project using Create React App. If you do React, or if you've done React, you probably is familiar with this package. It allows you to basically bootstrap a React application with testing and everything on it. So I just have this application here that I created. It's a very impressive application. It's just an app component that renders a marquee inside of marquee. And you can see on the left here, it's rendering just fine, the FikaJS logo bouncing around. You can notice that there's like a warning here in my VS Code. That's actually because marquee is deprecated and we shouldn't be using, but yeah, we're just ignore that for now. And even React DOM is complaining that I'm using scroll amount and BG color properties, and React doesn't even know what those are, but it still works. The only functionality that this tiny app has is that I can click on it, and you can see that it changes the color and it changes the speed that the FikaJS bounces around. I think we hit the corner there. Wow. And one thing to notice is that there's a browser quickness that the speed only changes once it actually hits the borders, which I found fascinating while I was implementing this. But anyway, let's go to the meat of it and build our custom renderer. So instead of using the full React DOM implementation, I'm actually gonna create my own custom renderer here. So I'm gonna create a file called renderer, and then save this thing. And then from now on, I'm going to hide my tree view there. And of course, if I save this file, this thing will just going to blow up. And as I mentioned, there's the package React Reconciler. So if you want to start this implementation, the first thing that I need to do is actually import the reconciler from React Reconciler. And I actually already imported this package. This is the only package installed on this fresh installation of a Create React App project. And then I need to create an instance of this reconciler, which you just do like that. And then it expects a single argument, which is called the host config. And the host config is just an object that should contain a bunch of methods, a bunch of functions that define how React should interact with this host. In this case, the host is the browser. So I'm just going to provide, for now, an empty object for it. The final thing that we need to do here is actually to export the render function that our React DOM is actually, our application is expecting to call. And it passes the React element, which is the root, and a DOM element to render that thing. So yeah, let's just do that. Export a function called render, and then this thing will take a React element and a DOM element. And then here I'm going to do some special reconciler APIs. So first I need to create a container. And the API for that is reconciler.createContainer. And the container, I need to pass basically what will have the container. Because this is a browser, it's basically the DOM element that I'm going to render the React application. Then there's two more arguments. The second one is to enable concurrent mode, which is the way that allows React to render a lot of stuff in concurrent mode. We're not going to use that for now. And if you want to support hydration, which is like if we are doing server-side rendering and we want to kind of like mount on top of it, we also don't want to support that. The final thing that we need to do is actually call the reconciler and tell it to update a container. And we're going to pass the React element that we're going to update this container, the container with. And there's two more arguments, and I'm just going to pass null. Once I save this, oh, not false, so no Portuguese, it's English. Save that, and yeah, it's still broken. And the reason it's broken is because I need to implement the methods on this host config. And what I'm going to do now is actually just copy a small snippet of code that I have here on the side and just paste it because it's a little bit of much to type. And you might be looking at this right now and seeing, okay, that's a lot of stuff. And indeed it is. But we're going to go a little bit one by one. So the one that we need to get this application going. If you're wondering where I got these functions from is from the type definitions of the React reconciler package. So if we want to start to get something on the screen, so yeah, right now there's nothing going on here. And there's nothing going on here because we actually need to implement these host methods to actually make something going on. If I want to see kind of like what's going on, I can start by just doing a console log on this create instance. And I'm going to just like, let's put an emoji here. And let's print the type and the new props. Let's save this. And you can see being printed here on the console 2 console logs. And they match basically what our application is trying to render. So we have the first one here is like it's passing the behavior alternate and then a scroll amount of 10. And the other one is basically the other component that we have on the top. So this create instance will be called by the reconciler every time it needs to create an instance of a host component. And a host component is basically every HTML tag. So every component that is not created by us, like the app here, which is a component, is a host component. So only for these tags, this create instance will be called. And I can see it's being called twice. Given this is web, we know what we need to do, right? If I want to transform this into something to be rendered on the browser, I need to create like a DOM element. So I'm going to call this instance, and then we're going to go to document and create create element. Yeah. And then create element expects one argument, which is the name of the tag. If this was React DOM, we would expect a type here. So we'd be able to render p, div, whatever. But this is our marquee render, so we're always going to create marquees. And then for now, I'm just going to return this instance. And I guess I can remove the console log. The next thing that we need to implement is this create text instance. This thing is called whenever React needs to render text, because this internally is actually a component. So every time there's inline text or numbers that is not a component, this will be called. And for the browser, we need to create something that is called the text node. So I need to create a text node, and then I'm just going to pass the new text in it to it and return that as well. So as I save this, you see that still nothing is going on. And again, nothing is going on because I need to make something happen. React doesn't know how to put this on the browser. So the next methods that I need to implement is both the append initial child, which is also very simple, just append child and the parent, and the append child container, just like parent. Save these two, and hopefully we're going to get something on the screen now. Yeah, we do. But it's of course not what we expected, right? It doesn't have the bouncing, it doesn't have the background. And the reason it doesn't have any of those is that we need to actually implement it as well. So the props that we need to implement are all these: width, height, direction, behavior, and so on. So I'm going to start with just the width. So what I need to do is kind of like this. So if someone passes the new prop width, if someone tried to passes that in, I'm just going to go in the instance.width and set it to the new props.width. Oh, sorry, save that. So now we should actually, yeah, you see that the FikaJS now started a little bit to the left because now the box actually has size. And I need to do that for all of the properties that we want to support. So I'm going to as well just copy that from the side because it's a couple of stuff to type, but I just basically did that for all the properties that I have. And if I save this, you can see that now we have our application back looking as it should from our first example. So very, very quickly. But if I try to click this, you see that nothing is happening. It's because I need to actually also tell React how to do an update. And then there's two methods that I need to do something. The first one is prepare update. And the real implementation for this one is that we should actually return a payload, which kind of like should be like an object, which contains maybe a list of things that need to happen. And then this payload is then called, is then passed to the commit update function. And then this is where we get what we need to do. And then we actually do something. Because it's a very contrived example, I'm just going to do return true. And then on the commit update, we can see what's going on. So I'm going to do also a console log here. And then instance, and then new props, just new props to see. We also get the old props as well. And if I click now, you see that the commit update is being called. I get a reference again to the instance, and then the new props that I need to update. And again, from what we did on the create instance here above, it's going to be basically a similar pattern. I'm just going to check if, for example, like I don't want to implement all of these. So if I check our implementation of our app, we actually have BG color and scroll amount are the only properties that we are changing. So let's just implement support for those. So if the old props dot, so I need to change for BG color, so BG color, if that becomes different, the new props becomes different, then I'm actually going to do instance dot BG color and set it to the new props dot BG color. So if I save this file now and click on my thing, you can see that the background now is updating. Of course, the speed of the thing is not changing. For that, we need to implement for the scroll amount. So let's just do that as well. So if old props dot scroll amount, if that's different than the new props dot scroll amount, then instance dot scroll amount equals the new props dot scroll amount. If I save that, then yeah, now we have basically our application back to all the functionalities that we had before. And this is kind of like what I wanted to show as a quick demo of like building a renderer. You can see that it's actually not a lot of code. With like 85 lines of code, I actually got a custom renderer that makes this thing work, and it covers all the functionalities that we had before. Of course, there's a lot of stuff missing. My render doesn't support setting a class name. It doesn't support setting the style. It doesn't support refs. It only supports handling on click. So it's a very, very simple implementation, but it gives you an idea of like, if you want to build your own, this is where you start. Yeah, so with that, let's go back to the presentation. So if you're wondering from this, like I actually completed the implementation of a marquee renderer, and I published an open source package on NPM that you can actually install on your project and try it yourself. The source is also available there. It's a complete package. It has type annotations. It has a unit test, one unit test. So it could be a good reference to get started if you want to try your own project. Yeah. So yeah. With that, then let's say that you do want to test this package in the wild. So again, if you go to your project and you install our marquee render, and instead of importing React DOM, you import our marquee render instead, you're actually going to get basically your entire application rendered with marquee tags. And when I tried this in our project, I was hoping to get something more interesting, but Chrome just said, no, that's too much. I don't know what you want here, and just gave me a white screen. On my implementation, I actually end up putting some logs. Like, React gives you warnings. On my warnings, like, yeah, you're using the wrong tag. You should just use marquees. Okay, we know what a renderer is. We know how to create one, but how does this relate to Minecraft? So as I mentioned, we're using this middleware called GameFace, which is this tiny kind of like browser implementation, right? And Granny Labs actually officially supports React DOM to be used on it. So that's how we started building on top of GameFace. We just imported React DOM, and we could basically get a normal React application and start rendering on top of GameFace, which is fantastic. But we actually need, in the same way that GameFace is a subset of a browser, what we need is actually a subset of React DOM, right? We don't need to support IE9. We don't need to support inline SVGs because that's not even supported by GameFace. And there's a lot of tiny stuff that we don't need that we could probably shave some performance by just implementing our own custom implementation. And that's what we try to do. So we created our own React GameFace renderer that it's kind of like using the reconciler, having our own custom host config, and that's what we got. So our custom render our application in Chrome is around 50% faster, mounting kind of like a test screen that we created, which is a pretty significant number. When we tested on the Xbox, Xbox is a slower platform than compared to my MacBook, but it's still like got around 17% faster than the default React DOM implementation. Again, this is comparing our custom render versus the default React DOM implementation. And this is all still using DOM APIs. GameFace provides us the DOM APIs, and we're using it to implement this. But there is an opportunity to build custom APIs to get more performance out of this as well. But of course, building your own renderer has some gotchas, right? And I think the most obvious one is that it's basically one more thing to maintain, and one more thing that could be a source of bugs. So this is something to keep in mind of. If you use React DOM, you get that for free. And if you use this approach that we did, you're basically going to get one thing to implement. And to be clear, I'm not recommending anyone to build their own renderer to use it on the web. this is very specific use case. We have an embedded browser system. It's a very specific case. And for us, I think it made sense. So yeah, probably not a good idea to start updating your browser to React Marquee and go for it. Another thing to keep in mind is that the API for React Reconciler, as I mentioned, is currently unstable. So it will probably change. So once we get a new version of React, we're probably going to get to go back to our custom implementation and update some of the things in there. Another gotcha that we kind of like realized a little bit later is that we don't get profiling support out of the box. It looks like it works because I think some of it is implemented on the reconciler, but I feel like still a lot of it needs to be done by us on the host config. And given we didn't do anything, yeah, we don't get DevTools supported. So be aware of that if you're going to try building your own renderer. And the other thing is that we got obscure bugs. So we implemented our renderer, but then we forgot to support for updating, the commit update. We didn't implement it for the source attribute. So we implemented something that was rendering an image tag, and it would mount, the source would be there, but then the image wouldn't change, and we couldn't figure out why it was broken. It took a while for us to remember that we had a custom renderer, and then we found that the bug was in there. We actually ended up writing a unit test for the renderer so that, yeah, it's covered and it won't happen again. So wrapping up, I hope I didn't went through this too fast. I was worried this might end up taking a little bit longer, but I hope it was a good pace. I really want to give a shout to this blog post from Atul. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm sorry for that. But this was basically our source for our implementation. It's a very well-written series of blog posts. So if you found this interesting and you want to try build your own renderer for some crazy idea, maybe supporting IE4, I recommend reading this blog post. It's fantastic. And while I was working on this talk, I found this talk by Sophie on YouTube, also a fantastic source. She goes a lot more in depth on the demo of on the live coding of building your own renderer. So I also recommend you take a look at it if you found this interesting. And I need to give a shout to this, Mojang is hiring. We, in our team, we are unfortunately not hiring right now, but we have a bunch of positions there for working in all different parts of the company. So take a look. And with that, I just, want to thank you all for listening. Thank you, Maxine, for hosting FikaJS. And I guess, that's it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Paulo. That was a really great, inspiring talk. I have two questions. I don't see people asking them. People ask questions. I have two. First one: can the element rendering code be asynchronous, or is it a requirement for being a regular synchronous function?
That's a good question. I think it needs to be synchronous, but I'm completely unsure because I don't know how that would work with React Native. I don't know how the bridge is implemented. If that is asynchronous or synchronous. So that's a very good question. I don't know.
I just got curious. So that's one thing that I would probably try on my own. Another thing, can you please leave a link to your slides in the comments?
Yes, I'll do that. I have to clean it up though, because I have a secret part here on the right that has a bunch of deleted slides that I need to get rid of, but I'll put it back. I'll share.
And one more question. While doing research on this custom renderers, have you found anything about Unity plus interfaces done in React? Custom render to Unity from React?
No, I haven't. No, sorry. But I know that I think DICE, probably their approach when they try to build React on top of their game, I think they probably end up creating a custom renderer and doing something completely different than what we're doing. Because they have their own thing. I don't even know how they did it.
I don't know if I can tell how they did it.
Oh yeah, you worked there.
I worked there, and I know people who did this functionality, who implemented it. It was basically React running in parallel with game engine, and it was sending the object, the React DOM tree representation to it, and then renderer was rendering the tree in the engine. And I don't know how through what type of communication would you organize talking of JavaScript and some C++ program?
Yeah, so the way that's implemented right now would probably be better if I had like one of my C++ devs in the team to answer that. But we have a way to actually have a C++ struct object with functions and methods implemented on it, and there's a way for them to basically map that object into a JavaScript object. So a struct in C++ gets mapped to object in JavaScript, and it's basically the same place in memory. So if they have an attribute with a string, that string is directly mapped to the object in JavaScript, and it's the same for function calls. So that's how we do it, but not for the render. For the render is actually DOM APIs that we call. So for us, it's like as if we're talking to a browser. But for anything extra that we do for like getting player information or playing back sounds or getting translations, then we end up doing this custom object mapped in memory from C++ to JavaScript.
That's cool, because when I think how would I organize this communication between rendering engine and the React side something, I'm thinking about either inter-process communication or maybe even WebSockets or something in this direction, and this sharing memory.
That's the biggest difference. This is one process. There's no network layer. We're on the same process. We're running inside the game engine. So when we talk backend on our side, backend is C++, and everything is immediate. So a lot of the patterns that you do for web dev, they change a little bit. So we end up having, for example, the source of truth, like what would be your Redux store. It's actually like one of these memory mapped objects that's coming directly from C++. And we try to consider that to be the source of truth. And if we want to update the state, we actually go through C++. C++ update the state, tell us now that it changed, and we re-render. That's how we do it.
So basically, inside of your C++ process, you run core.js, or how is it called?
So it depends on the platform. Like Bedrock is everywhere. So it's on iOS, Android, Xbox, PlayStation 4, Switch, Fire TV. I'm probably forgetting a platform. So it runs everywhere. And depending on the platform, we actually have different JavaScript runtimes. So it could be V8, could be JavaScript Core, could be Chakra Core. Coherent Labs, the company that's doing GameFace, they want to normalize so that everything it's V8 everywhere. But right now we have different VMs actually depending on the platform.
Do you know if, as a hobbyist, I can play with GameFace and just try out things?
That's the thing. Like we asked them as well, because I feel like there's a huge potential on GameFace to be kind of like this Electron kind of killer, because it's an optimized browser and you could use it like for creating custom applications in a much more performant way than you would get with like Electron, because you don't get the full browser stack out of it. But unfortunately, their business model is very much kind of like targeted towards gaming companies, and their license is not cheap. I think you can probably download and try on your own, but like trying to release something, I don't think it's easy. I don't think they have like an indie package, but like I would double check with them. Definitely go to their website, search for Coherent Labs, and check there. But from what I've heard last time I know about it is, their business model was not targeted towards individuals and indies, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. But thanks for the great talk. And I hope you already left the slides in the comments.
No, not yet. I need to prepare it. It'll take like 2 minutes.
Do it. Will you play one more game? I think we're playing one more game with everyone. So one person has a chance to win the book.
Yeah, I can join.
And then we're signing off. Cool. What do we do next? Do you want to share your screen, or should I share mine?
I don't think my MacBook handles streaming the game.
Okay, yes.
I think we tried earlier. It didn't work well. I need a new machine.
Probably. Application, Minecraft, share. Cool.
So I'm just going to prepare the slides here. I'm going to share it right now.
There is a good question in the comments, not for you, but for me. Where do I wish for the book? Here, yes, you can wish for it here, but you can also reach out to me, Maxim Ivanov, in meetup.com, or I will also send out emails to everyone who won the book. But everyone who won the book, please write what you want in the comments, and I will also reach out to you. So we will sort it out somehow. By the way, Matthias, what do you want? What do you want? Which book do you want? Is it also Rust, like everyone else?
Yeah, I got Rust as well. I'm playing with Rust on my spare time. It's kind of like very much. When people say they fight the borrow checker, I'm fighting the borrow checker. It's very, very painful.
What is borrow checker?
Rust has a unique way of handling memory. So it's like, it doesn't have a garbage collector like, we have in JavaScript or Python or Ruby. And it's not like, C++ or C where you have to manage the memory yourself. So, C++, C is very common to get bugs because you either forgot to deallocate memory, or maybe you try to route in memory that you deallocate. It's a bunch of issues that you get. In Rust, they have like a compiler check. That they have some like ownership model for memory. And you need to kind of like borrow, variables to other. So there can only be one owner for a piece of memory that's mutable. And that can become really tricky for us, not being used to that model, trying to implement something. Anyway, rambling about Rust. It's fun. I shared the slide there.
Cool. Thank you. Oh, Matthias also picked the Rust book. By the way, did you see the question from Daniel Halgren? Do you store any state in the front end? If so, how did you handle garbage collection?
So right now, all the state that we have is coming from C++. So it's basically these, struct memory mapped objects. But as we move on, depending on the feature, we're probably going to go and have more state on the front end, on the JavaScript side. Yeah.
Okay, and I see that Anas, who is Moiki, also picked Rust book. What if we just give the Rust book to everyone? If everyone is so curious about Rust, let's just simplify the whole process. Okay, I need the votes from. I will still send out the emails. I need to make sure that everyone gets what they want. I don't want to simplify process too much.
Should I join the game now? What should we do?
I think we will play one more time and we finish up with this. And we'll wrap up with this call. Okay, we play one more time. There is one more winner. And we finish this meetup. We call this a day. Hurry up to join the game if you want to win the book. Probably you will win the Rust one because everyone wants it, apparently. Paulo, do you also want to use Rust on frontend like Ohans?
Yeah, I started doing that. I started doing WebAssembly, but that ended up introducing a couple more challenges. I was trying to build a game, so I was trying to use Canvas API, and there are some quirks into how you interface between Rust and JavaScript. Mm-hmm. And because I was struggling with two things, the borrow checker and this kind of like interfacing between two worlds, I end up aborting and just going to Rust and compiling something. So I'm gonna wait a little bit on WebAssembly and try just vanilla Rust for a while.
Okay. Next time we should play some easier game.
I think you could try the battle mode. Just to see how it works.
What is battle mode? What is the premise?
I think it's like a I don't know, Fortnite. No, I'm joking. I think you just shoot each other. It's just the blowing up part and no racing. It's a battle royale mode in Minecraft. Finally.
I'm so focused on running, and still I'm losing. Majnun is gonna win again. Then we have Alex Tag, who's the third. Marlunicus. Yeah, the problem with those racing games is that Okay, if someone is good, what do we do if we want to give out books to several people, not everything?
Yeah, that's why I said maybe we should try the other mode just to see what happens.
Yeah, but also insisting so much and like not giving more than one book to same people is I don't know. I don't know if it looks good. I wonder how those people feel, because I see them only as nicknames, but behind those nicknames, they're real human beings with feelings and thoughts and like dreams and desires.
Yeah, maybe next time we can add everyone to the call.
That would be great.
Because like it wasn't that many people; it's like 20 people, so we could actually do that.
This is the missing part of it, because cool, everyone can watch videos on YouTube. Like if you think about what is streaming Meetup, it's kind of a squimorphic concept. It's kind of a weird thing.
Okay, I'm gonna go to battle mode. Set the battle mode thing. So I want to let's battle only. So it should be battle only. That's the battle.
Okay, I have no idea how it works even. Can you please check who won last time? Last phase.
Finished first was Manjono. Second was Marlonicus. Third was Alex Teg. So Alex Teg could get it now.
Yes, Alex Teg.
TG.
Alex TG. Okay. Alex TG, how is it written? Alex Teg. Alex Teg, you won the book. Let us know in the comments if it's the Rust one or something else. What is it?
Okay, so I think let's see what this thing is. So I think we fight.
Okay.
Oh my god. I need items, I guess.
I got some items.
Oh my god.
Okay, I've died. Whatever.
Marlonicus is winning.
Confusing.
There's no items. I can't find any items. I can't. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, I'm not dead. Oh shit! I'm dead. I can't find any items. Like I think.
I'm so lost. So confused. What's the point of this game? I've died. I don't like it.
Yeah, I couldn't kill anyone yet. Okay, I died again. Marjona is winning again. There's no hope. There's no hope.
There is no hope. Okay. I don't know how to play it. I'm just running around.
No.
And I've died again. Whatever. Whatever. You know what? I'm gonna share your screen instead. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, kill someone.
I do it. Okay, I'm sharing your screen, but it's presentation again.
Should we call it a day then?
Did someone win? I don't know. I'm so lost.
I think Marjona will win again.
Yeah.
And it's still 3 minutes on the match.
Thank you, Majnuno, for the good game.
Yeah, I'm done.
That was awesome. I'm also done. Okay, guys, if you want to continue hanging out on that server, I think you can do it for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it running for a while.
I will track down everyone who left the nicknames and send out the emails. If you change your mind about the Rust book, let me know. Yeah, and please respond in any case, and I will send you the links to download the book that you will pick. So expect to get an email today from me. Thanks, everyone. That was a great event. I hope. I don't know. It's funny for a host.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I liked it. Did you like
Yeah.
it? If you liked it, then it was great event.
Yeah.
It was great event. Yeah, cool.
Everything worked at least. So
yes, everything worked. I've learned something today. That was awesome. We have had some people watching us. We had some people participating. Someone won the books. This was a productive evening. Thanks, everyone. And I think that's it for today. Have a good weekend,
bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Take care. Stay safe.
Stay away from Corona. Bye-bye. How do I stop streaming? Okay, you can look at me for a while. I will be sort of lost and not knowing how to stop to stream the stuff. But the stream is over, just so you know. You can stop watching it. Bye-bye.